Okay, hi everybody. So this is part 4, for the Countdown to Mitten series. I don't have much time here. Been working on some stuff, but this one's about free voluntary reading, okay, or silent sustained reading. Just checking the time here. Okay, I got a couple minutes here. Okay. And then, reading with class sets. All right, so my experience is I do both, all right? I do free voluntary reading like twice a week only, because I'm split in 2 buildings, and not that matters, because I know teachers that are in their own room all day and they only do 2 days. It just varies. Some teachers do 10 minutes a day every single day, like a colleague I know, 10 minutes every single day, starts with free voluntary reading in silence. What else? So I do 2 days a week for 8 minutes each, and I think that's sufficient, 16 minutes a week, because I'm also doing a class set as well, as we read as a whole class. I just got done with Robo en la Noche by Christy Placido, and I read it with Spanish 1 and 2 because I had 2 different tenses, but sometimes that doesn't matter. You really got to look at the word count, right? Because if you think you're overly translating words, I found out, then that might not be the best book to be using. Level 2 was okay. Level 1, I don't know. I think I was a little premature on giving them that book to read, but we got through it, and some did fairly well with it. All right, so I don't know, free voluntary reading, what else? I don't do book journals like that. I don't have them do any kind of anything. It's just reading for silently. Some teachers put a grade in the grade book like once a week maybe, or twice a week, or every time they do free voluntary reading, make it out of 10, 15, 20 points. It's an easy 20 points as long as you're silent and reading the book, or at least pretending you're reading, staring at a page for 8 minutes. I started that at the beginning of the year, but then I just stopped. So there's no grade attached to free voluntary reading at all, but they just do it. I don't know, I luck out. My kids are, they all read, or at least they're quiet and they're just staring at a page. Some people say if you start giving assignments on it, then it starts like becoming like, not enjoyable. Do you want to read something, but knowing that you have to do something for it, that's kind of a drag. You'd rather read like you would maybe reading something before you go to bed, like pleasure reading. Steve Krashen talks a lot about that on one of the videos. If you noticed, the one that he was in Hong Kong, I think, in that video on YouTube, look it up. Talks about the power of reading, pleasure reading, and stuff like that. I'll start reading it more because I guess it staves, is that the word? Or off dementia. All right, so I'll die of something else, but it won't be of dementia if I keep reading. All right. What else? I built up my free voluntary reading library. A lot of it just out of pocket, unless you want to write a grant. Those are out there. Maybe if you don't know, maybe your building has money for your free voluntary. Maybe the staff get like $100 or a couple hundred, maybe there's funds in your department or your school district. I don't know. I just went ahead and paid it all out of pocket. So my free voluntary reading, as well as like a class set that I bought, Robo en la Noche, and all the books that I bought for FVR, like 4 or 5 copies per book. We're looking at close to $1,000 probably. But I'll always have them, and I guess whenever I'm done using them and retire, I could sell them. So I'm just maybe buying them temporarily. I'll get some of my money back, when I retire, if I ever retire. Yeah. I did GoFundMe. I know some teachers also do like Donors Choose or something like that. I did GoFundMe. It doesn't really matter, I guess. With Donors Choose, I know Fluency Matters and TPRS books are not signed up with Donors Choose through Amazon. So, well, okay, but I want the books from Fluency Matters and Donors and TPRS books. So, Donors Choose doesn't work with Teachers Discovery. If I'm wrong, let me know. But when I initially was trying to raise money, those stores were not set up with Donors Choose. So I did GoFundMe, And I mean, people use GoFundMe for anything, right? But what I ended up doing was, because I have all these stories, all these PowerPoint stories with all the characters cut out and everything, I was sending it out to people saying, hey, if you can donate to me $50 for my FVR, I'll give you all 40 or all 60 of my movie talks and stories I've ever created, and I'll give them to you. So some people, they did that. They gave me $50-$60 here and there, and I just shared with them a whole folder, sent them all the files I had that I ever created, with stories that go along with the Realidades textbook and other textbooks, and just, stories that are basically textbook-driven stories with those vocab lists. So, I got quite a bit of money for that, and some just gave me some money. So that's a way to do it, I guess. What else? I'm trying to think. Some teachers, they sometimes will have maybe just a little mini thing to do with the FVR, right? After they get done reading one day, you could say, okay, get out a piece of paper and give me a paragraph in English of what you've been reading so far. What are some words that you've acquired, things like that. Or maybe after FVR, find somebody for 4 minutes and talk to each other in English about what you're reading. Doing little things like that. So, but just not really making it too grade heavy, okay? Because then it takes the joy out of it. As far as class sets go, I don't really make too many assignments on it. You can, a lot of times you're just reading out loud in front of the class, right? And then you're stopping and asking questions around. All right, there's a girl named McKenna Parker. She's 14 years old. She's from Michigan. She has a sister that goes to Michigan State. Then you stop. Hey, class, who has a sister or a brother that goes to Michigan State? Oh, okay. Circle the novel as you're reading and stuff like that, right? Personalized questions and stuff. Or I'm not too familiar. Sometime I'll get into reader's theater or something like that. Where you have the students reading and you take out a little part in the book and reenact it with your kids. I did that with Toomba and Brandon Brown Wants a Dog, and that's it. I didn't do it with Robo en la Noche. And that's about it. The kids generally I did a Google Doc the other day, a Google form, and surveyed 135 kids, and the vast majority prefer silent sustained reading. So that's the bell. So I gotta start. The kids are about to come in a minute. There's one other thing I wanted to say about class sets, but I'll have to record another video in a little bit. All right, another, we'll call it FVR, Silent Sustained Reading 4.5. All right, talk to you soon.